Hey Divas, Ingrid Arna here. Oh gosh, I have a message for you today. Something that I think a lot of people need to hear. I'm showing up all natural. Got a cold, it doesn't matter, because really at the heart of everything when it comes to being an entrepreneur, showing up as a leader online, if you are not consistently showing up, standing in your power, teaching and serving, you might as well just quit and give up. Honestly, in order to build your empire, in order to monetize your brilliance, number one, people need to know that you exist. You need to get out of hiding. You need the right structures. Then you get people on a sales call. I just spoke to a beautiful woman, highly talented, gifted. She's so undercharging, and then she doesn't have the capital to put things into ads and training and support and hiring a team, because she doesn't have the right structure and the systems in place, right? I see it time and time again. There's no judgment around that, but the intent for this video today is just to call it as it is. If you want to make 100K, 200K, 300K, a million, whatever it is, 5 million a year, you have to have a foundation, and you've got to get your energy and your thinking and your structures and your systems in place. Otherwise, here is what's going to happen if it's not happening already. You are going to spin your wheels. You're going to feel like hell. You are going to be frustrated because what you're doing actually isn't working. And then you're probably going to start judging yourself, and it becomes this spiral, right? And I just have to say, talent isn't enough. Beauty isn't enough. You have to have the right structure and the right systems, and you've got to show up consistently to ensure that people know who you are, what you stand for, and what you do, right? You have to become a leader and an activator, and you need to invite people in to do the work that is needed in order for them to have the healing and the transformation that they need. So I am sending you so much love. If you want to make, the 50K a month, the 100K a month, I was saying to a student of mine, it's actually a small fraction of what's possible, right? But unless you have the systems and the structure and the support that is needed in order for you to get out of your own story, to take deliberate action. I see that the energy, I can read people's energy. It's like constriction. I had a beautiful client. She's an amazing healer and shaman to tell me, but Ingrid, I don't want to get up online because I've got a bruise on my face. No one cares about the bruise on your face. All they care about is what you can do for them. They need to hear you. If people can't hear you and see you, and you can't clearly articulate what it is that you do, and you're hiding, you're not going to have a business. You're not going to have a business. I have been a chronic in my life under earner. I wanted to give and give and give and give, and I'd had all this almost like a distorted energetic profile because I really didn't know how to put it all together. It's just not pretty, and I know because I see it time and time again. I've seen it within my own journey. You want to make money? You need structure, you need systems, you need the right offer at the right price, you need cash flow. No cash flow, no friggin' business, right? It's just you need the cash flow. And we have to shift our perception of what it is to be a leader. It's not holding back, it's not hiding, it's not pretending, it's not worrying about what people are going to think of you, right? It's about taking, hey Jade, it's about taking, thank you for the love. It's about taking a stand. It's about speaking up, and it's around having the structure. A huge shift. Even a $1,500 package is a huge shift to begin with for some people. Then you go to a $3,000, and then a $5,000, and then a $10,000, right? I've got a beautiful person who's watching right now who was so overwhelmed and so scared, and she didn't want to get on calls, and she's another talented woman. She's actually got movie stars and people wanting to work with her now. She's amazing, and she just had her first $20,000 cash week. Now, that woman went through so much stuff and angst and then she just began to claim it, right? And like own it, and she started to get it deeply. And now she's able to leverage herself and be different, right? So you get it. Then you start having the cash flow, and it's like, okay, and then we go into strategy. And working with those sorts of women, it's very fast because their frequency has sped up, their energetic presence has sped up, and it's more like, okay, when I work with someone, I'm like looking at your funnels, looking at your copy, looking at your messaging, looking at your ads, what is your video copy? People hire me, they've say been running masterminds for 3 to 5 years, and they want to ramp it up, they want to double, triple their income. And so they come to me, and I look at positioning and messaging and all that stuff, and it's very fast, the process, because whilst they still might have fears and still things that they need to release, it's like this, it's a quickening process because they've done the hard yards, right? They've come back into their own power. And so it becomes it's just very strategic. And it's really about the global mission, the big vision, right? And I just love that because we're not then dealing with too much wounding. It's like a rapid transformation. And I at first really like to talk to men about that at the beginning because I never felt uncomfortable with it, but I feel like I'm attracting more and more women who are like, let's talk about your $1 million, your multi-million-dollar plan, and let's look at how we're going to do that. But it took me a couple of years to get to that level of really, I was saying to a friend, I did a webinar the other day, and she knows me from years ago, and she said, it was huge for you. Like, you found it like $250 an hour was a huge shift for you. And I forgot that I was like that. So it does take time. It is a process of healing and remembering and reclaiming your power, looking at money, as a healing tool, having a completely new relationship with how you position yourself in the marketplace. But when you do get it down, really honestly, guys, my message to you today is that your vision and what you're here for gets magnified because you've magnified your presence. You know what you stand for, and you're not ashamed, and there's no guilt, And it is a process of healing. It is a process, and we do need to be gentle, and we do need to be kind to ourselves. But the most important thing is you need to see where you're letting yourself down, honestly, and you need to break a cycle, a pattern, right? Usually of scarcity, overgiving, under-earning, working way too hard for the money. Sacrificing yourself, which on some level is still a prostitute archetype. I'm going to just keep it real today. Wanting to be nice, but really punishing yourself in the process. When I gave birth to my daughter almost 5 years ago, that was a huge wake-up call for me. She's been an amazing inspiration for me. When I was like, my husband was traveling and he'd leave me at home with the baby, and I'd be like, oh my God, and I barely had $40 to pay for a babysitter. Literally, I barely had $40. I now have a cleaner who I think I spend $300 a week on. Absolutely huge shift, right? And I was like, you know what? I cannot do this anymore. I've worked in some of the biggest ad firms in New York. I've sold and pitched TV. I started my career off at 18 at A Current Affair. I've worked as a writer. I've been on US television. And what am I doing? I see this time and time again. Very incredibly talented women literally just ruining ourselves, both energetically, financially, because of this kind of warped concept of what it means to serve. So we really need to shift it, women, and the men here too. I see a lot of more men coming to me lately, a lot around their messaging. I've have people who are in like Russell Brunson's, whatever it is, 2 Comma Club, and I can tell they're hiding. They're really not taking up space online, and I love nothing more to see both men and women rock it. But we do need to shift our perception of what it is to serve and take up a lot more space, because the world needs us and we need us. Your family needs you to break the pattern and to show up and to start really leading in a whole new way. We need femme, divine, and also male leaders who are coming from a position of a deeper level of love and contribution. And you can prosper, you can make multi-million dollars, you can make $500 million a year if you really want to, and give back, right? And do it with ethics and integrity of self and others. I honestly believe that conscious capitalism, conscious money, right? And I think when we get that deeply and we give ourselves permission to claim it, we're deeply supported. It's all there for us. There's always a polarity, from suffering and sacrifice and scarcity to like incredible abundance. I wake up every day. One of the things that I do, and I'll wrap this up, don't want to bore you guys, but one of the things I do every day is I take a risk and I throw myself into the deep end. And I think sometimes that's what an entrepreneur is about. You gotta like, in order to fly, you gotta like jump off the cliff at some point, right? And so every day, because my desire to serve is so deep, and because I'm so passionate about standing for the economic, political, and financial and energetic power of women, we need more femme leaders in the world. And because I've gone through such incredible suffering myself, there's no time to waste. So it's like I put any insecurity or any fear that I have to the side, because that's not serving people, it's not serving me. I can pick it up at any point, all my baggage, right? But when I come here online, I'm not censoring myself, obviously. I'm not being concerned about what people are going to think of me, because my truth and my voice and my message is far more important than the opinion of others. And I can assure you, and I've explained this before, when you show up in this way, just authentically in your own vibration of being true and real and vulnerable and honest, people will come to you. People will come to you. And some people may leave, and that doesn't matter, because that's their choice and it actually has nothing to do with you. So just for me, I'm very deliberate and focused. And what happens is, and I just keep showing up. I was saying to the girls in my group today, show up, be consistent. Own your message, own your voice, get clear and show up consistently, and give yourself permission to sell. Because when you're selling and you're in, you're of high integrity and you have a level of excellence in what you do, it's of deep service to sell. So give yourself permission, and I'm going to round it up. I'm sending you guys so much love, and thank you for bearing with me with the cold. It's hard to string it together sometimes, but I just felt so called to just speak my truth today. And I think we're heading into a whole new dimension right now. And if you don't move through your stuff, you're going to be dragged more than ever. Because if you're a light worker and a leader, it's what you're meant to be doing. And if you're not living your truth, if you're not in soul alignment, you're going to have, I don't mean to be this fear-based person, but like to push you from a place of fear, but I'm going to be truthful, and you will be dragged more than ever. That's why so many people over the last 10 to 12 days have been going through massive shifts and upgrades, because we are releasing that toxic wounding, the poison, the way we dagger and stab ourselves, right? To come and to rise up into a whole new frequency. And you have to be brave. You have to change things. And when you do, though, you will be held in a container. So be kind, be gentle, drink lots of water, get lots of rest, reach out for support. If you want to reach out to me or speak to my team, you can as well. I've got a whole beautiful team of women who work with me, who will do a chat with you to see what you need to do in order to really leverage yourself, your brilliance, your beauty, your heart. And the way to talk to them is to just go to ceodivaconsult.com. No pressure to buy from us. You'll have a chat. If it resonates with you, if it feels in alignment with you, if you truly sort of you just get it and it feels right, then you can work with us. If you don't want to work with us, it's all good. I'm sending you so much love. A million blessings.